Even though I say this is the negative end of spiritual beings, what I mean is by negative is that is there something that the sitter can do without? So, is there something that the sitter can do without? Is there something that maybe the sitter does not want anymore? So they've got this spirit around them. They don't really want to be connected to the spirit. We've got my friend and I have got a questionnaire. If you feel this is the case with you, feel free to read through the questionnaire. You can request it from me. I will send it to you gladly. There's no charge behind it. It is a collaboration between myself and her to help others, and you are more than welcome to access it. So you can get, even if you have a client, you can take the questionnaire and send it to your client. You can ask them to then go through it, and if you have a situation like that, you can ask that, request that we, see what the arrangement is. How does, what is the connection between the spiritual entity and the person? So we can say, well, how do they connect? What's the connection? Is there someone there? Is there someone there that doesn't need to be there? And then what we want to understand is, well, first of all, who's there? What's the connection? And so on. Okay, next up, what we want to do is we want to understand the purpose again. This is always, I feel, very good to know is what is the purpose of whatever's around the sitter, because of course we want to understand, we want to know what's going on, what is the dynamics, what's the arrangement, why is the spirit there, and also, like I say, it's not really our place to interfere. So what we do is we observe and we ask. So we see, okay, well, is there some kind of purpose? If there isn't, if the spirit is merely around this person because of their own gain, and there's no contract, there's nothing that the person can do for the spirit, and there's nothing that the spirit can do for the person, they're merely hanging around. If they are just malignant and messing around, then I feel that there's more of a chance of saying, okay, well, can both be free of each other? Can the sitter be free of the spiritual being, and then can the spiritual being be set free of the sitter? Okay, well, the person can hold the spiritual entity to them, and the entity can hold the person, or like be in the person's space, without any purpose. So it could be that some contract has run out. There's no more contract in place anymore. Everything's been done. There's no benefit on either side, and there's just this thing that doesn't really serve any purpose to anyone. And then we ask, okay, well, can we then break this up? If we can then break this up, this is where we can then do a healing on the spirit. So we can take the spiritual being and offer it to the light. I have my own way in which I deal with this. I will quickly say in broad terms what it is. So I see it as spiritual beings, or things that are connected to me that are in armor and carry blue swords. They generally have two swords. They can either protect by crossing it across their chest and standing in front of someone. I've used them in front of other people. Also, they can cut cords and set things free. This is just my way that I do it. And then there's some other actions which I will not go into, because that's purely for me, not for you. So you can find out if you have something like this for yourself. The other way to do it is we can offer spirits to the light. We can bind them or wrap them in a cord. We can offer them to the light. We can, if you do some Wiccan type of activities, you're welcome to bring those in for yourself. That's up to you. But generally, you can just encapsulate something, offer it to the light, or what you can do is you can ask that the person be free of the spirit. If you have modalities that you've learned that can be used in this, absolutely. Otherwise, do what you guided to do. I find that works best for me. I'm not going to go into all the things that I've tried and done, but generally speaking, if you deal with spirits, understand that when the person in the physical world is really the person that's in charge here, and that the spiritual being is basically a passenger, but doesn't really need to be a. They can connect to people, yes, absolutely, but they don't need to be a menace.